I went to the Head Start in Washington State, so in Moses Lake, Washington. And I remember a few things here and there. I mean, I was really small, but like I remember playing with my friends and being all excited, like, oh, you know. And then when new kids would come, I'd be like, yay, new friends. And I think one thing that really motivates me are my two younger brothers, because I am the oldest and I'm the only girl, so it's like a little bit hard. But like growing up, because you know we were really low on money, so I would always be the one taking care of my brothers, or like some days like my parents didn't have enough for food, so then I would go to school and I'd put in my lunch in my backpack, and then I would take it home to my brothers so they could eat. And then I would just be like, oh, I'm not hungry, you know, I'm good, you know, it's fine. And then my brothers would be like, oh, well, why isn't there more food? And, you know, and it's like, you know, it's hard to tell, like, little kids, you know, like, oh, well, you know, we don't have money. But, I mean, that's one thing that, like, really gets me going. Because of that, because I went through that, like, I really don't want my brothers to go through that again. And, like, I made sure growing up that even though I knew that we were running low on money, I didn't want them to know that we were running low on money. So it's just, that's one thing that I'm just like, okay, you know what, I gotta get my education, I gotta get my career going, and I need to make sure that other kids that were in the same position as me, because I'm sure there is more, like, I don't want them to be going through the same thing. Like, because it's hard, it's really hard having to grow up really easy, like, really fast, and, you know, not being able to go enjoy your childhood. And it's really hard, but that's what gets me going. That's why I'm majoring in human development, to help the little kids. And also because I think, my personal belief, if we can get the kids young enough, like, if we can raise them right, like, maybe that will stop them from being mean to the other kids. Because I know we got picked on a lot for being poor, and we had, you know, ripped clothes. And so I know I got picked on a lot, and it hurt me, and it affected my brothers, because they would get picked on too. And that's something that I don't want to happen. So I feel like if we can get them at a young enough age, they'll be nice to other kids, and they'll learn that respect. They'll learn, you know, like, okay, well, this kind of hurts their feelings, you know. And then maybe then, in the long run, I know it's a long shot, but maybe then it'll reduce bullying at least. If not completely make it go away. But that's just like a few things. Yeah.
So where are you interning?
I want just talk just for a minute about the migrant experience with you and your family, if you don't mind, and then answer Yasmina's question.
I mean, it was hard because we'd be moving like every year or two. So there was a point in my life where I was just like, okay, well, you know, I think I'm just going to shun things out. But it was hard, like, just like, because we lived out in the orchards, you know, so it's just like, ugh. And then because, like, when we went through the cherry season, like, I had my friends, and I remember one of my friends, she was young too, because we were both really small, and we were in the apple season then. And then she was up in the ladder, and because we're so small, and then the ladders are like really like old and denty, so she fell off. And obviously we didn't know back then, and like, you know, we can go to the hospital and then they can help us out. But, you know, we're like, okay, well, we're poor, so it's not like we can do anything about it. And then being scared because most of our families are undocumented, so being scared of, like, even going to the hospital, because then it's just like, okay, well, then they're just going to separate us, and they're going to take our families home. So having to, like, working in the orchards, and, you know, like, just going through all that was just, it was just, like, it's really hard. Like, yeah, seeing your friends in pain and not being able to do anything, and then it's just, like, you being in pain, having to come home, and, like, my parents are still complaining to this day. Like, right now, my mom and my brother are in the orchards right now, and it's hard to know that they're outside in the heat, and then with all the pesticides going on, it's just like they don't care. Like, they don't care if you're the ones getting pesticides all over, all the chemicals on your hands, and you still have to eat like that because you don't really have a choice. It's not like they give you clean water. So they didn't give us clean water, so we just had to eat like that. And it's just like, we can't even go to the doctor. Like, how do you go to the doctor? You know, you don't have the money, and it's not like you want to risk getting your family separated and getting deported. So you just have to go through all that pain. Like, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I shock my friends when I tell them that the life expectancy for migrants is, 47, 48 years. And they're like, oh, that couldn't be. Yeah. And I mean, everything that you're saying is why it is so
Well, I mean, yeah, it just like it hurts. Like even no matter what age you are, no matter at what age, no matter what gender, nothing. Seeing your parents come home and complain and say my hands hurt, say my back hurts, and saying that they're dehydrated and watching them like be weak, that's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you, and it's gonna hit you straight to your heart, and it's gonna make you cry. And I know it made me cry many, many times, and it still makes me cry seeing my mom. She'll send me pictures, or my brothers will send me pictures, and he's only 15, and he has to be working there, and it's just like it sucks. Like it really, really sucks. You feel vulnerable. You feel so sad, and it's like you going through the same thing. Because I know when I worked there, it really sucked. Like I mean, obviously we made the best of it. So I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Just make the best of the situations. But seeing your hands rip, like having all the stains all over you, like coming home and tired, like just tired, like you just want to rest, but you can't rest because you only have a couple hours before you have to go into work again. And then all for what? Like they don't even give you much. You don't even get treated right. Like it's like I want to scream out. I'm human too. Like I'm sorry I wasn't privileged to be in a family full of money. Like I have to work in the orchards. Like I'm sorry. Like doesn't mean that I should get treated any less. Doesn't mean we should get treated any less. It's just it hurts. It hurts.
So now you want to share a little bit about your experience here in DC?
My experience
Can you
here.
take a breath?
I have experienced many things being here, so I'm grateful. Thank you guys for all the support. I never, ever in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would be here in DC, or this side. I have gotten to do some incredible things. Like when they passed the immigration, I was just telling them how they passed the Immigration Reform Act in the Senate. I was there, and I was all excited, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. And then because we have Dreamers now, interns in the MCOP department, which is the Minor Community Organizing Partnerships, and we have Dreamers. So I've been working a lot with the Dreamers, so I'm helping the United We Dream, and we've been calling senators, we've been calling representatives, trying to get the Immigration Reform Act going. And I've been going to many, many events, and I know there was a Guam anniversary too. And then I saw the pictures. Unfortunately, I couldn't go because I had another event. But it was and then I've been to so many restaurants that I was like, I never thought I'd be to fancy restaurants. I was like, what's this food? And I know my boss. She's like, have you tried this Mediterranean restaurant? And I was like, what? What do they serve there? And then she's like, oh my god, we gotta go. So we went, and oh my god, I was like, how do you eat this? What is this? I'd never seen this, and it looked like a tortilla. It was like a tortilla thing, but it wasn't a tortilla, and I was like, it looks like a tortilla. I'm trying to wrap it up, and I was like, oh, she was like, no, you just dip it. I was like, oh, my bad. But it's just crazy. I've met so many people. I've gone through so many things here, it's just incredible. And then right now, I'm learning how to do, drafting ROIs. I never thought I'd draft ROIs, the return on investment forms, the other communities, I never thought I'd do that. I was like, what is that? Yeah, but, I mean, I've been growing a lot. I've learned things that I didn't. I feel like I'm experiencing the world, and I feel like this is just the start.
It is just the start. That's the right. That's how you should take it.
It's amazing.
And so when you're not working, experiencing these fancy restaurants, how do you spend your downtime?
My downtime.